Welcome back to Anthony Lee Raw. Guys, today we're going to be looking at Jasmy. A couple things right before we get started. Stick with me. First of all, I kind of like Jasmy, but there's something that really rubs me the wrong way, and maybe I'm reading too much into it, but you want to kind of maybe keep this in the back of your mind, so stick around to the end. I'm going to show you what that is, although I do have good news on this coin. I also want to say that I know some of you are going to try to tell me how Jasmy is the greatest thing since sliced bread. It's curing cancer. It's doing this, it's doing that. And I got to tell you guys, I don't care. I don't care. This is a technical analysis video only. You can keep your fundamentals. I do technical trading because in the event that your fundamentals don't play out, you need to be able to rely on the technicals to fall back on. So fundamentals for me are just a bonus. Give us a thumbs up, give us a thumbs down, subscribe to the channel. If you want to keep Jasmy in the rotation, thumbs it up. I cannot keep doing altcoin reviews, so the ones that get the most thumbs up will be kept. The ones that get the most thumbs down will be scrapped. Go on over to the website, anthonyleeraw.com. Join the VIP Discord, get your indicators, all that good stuff. All right, guys, here we go. Jasmy, let's dive in. Jasmy has been around. I don't even know what this is about. I know nothing about this coin, and I don't care. But it had this crazy release and then just immediately crashed down. I mean, this almost looks very scammy. I'm not saying it is. It just looks it, and I'm going to show you at the end what I mean. So I'm going to count this as the all-time high. Anytime you have a release and it just immediately crashes, or a release and it immediately rips to the upside, that doesn't count. That is usually manipulation, token unlocks, token burns, early investor selling, stuff like that. This is where your meaningful and relative price action started, okay? So November of 2021, a price all-time high of 32 cents. At the time, a $1.6 billion market cap and $5 billion circulating supply. Now pay attention. Here's where it gets interesting. Here's what you need to know. Enter a bear market, come back next cycle. You set a price all-time high of almost 6 cents, okay? Massive underperformance, right? From 32 cents to 6 cents. Wrong. It was actually an overperformance. You increased your market cap from 1.6 billion to almost 3 billion. You almost doubled your market cap. Not quite, but almost doubled. About 1.5 times. Here's the problem. You 10x'd your circulating supply. You went from 5 billion coins to 50 billion coins. So you diluted the market through token unlocks. Okay, not good. However, you are fully diluted, so you won't be adding really any more coins to the market. You still have 50 billion today at a price of about a half a penny and $227 million market cap. And by next cycle, you'll still be at 50 billion coins. So the good news is you won't be waterlogging your price anymore. The damage is done. The bad news is the damage is done. Now we're going to look over at market cap to try to figure out our targets. You cannot fib price. It does not work. Don't try it. This is where most traders and most investors get wrecked. Look at it like this, guys. If I throw a fib from your cycle 1 high to your bear market low, look at where your fibs come in. I mean, you don't even, what is this? You didn't even reach the 0.5 fib. Let's see if we can find a lower fib, 236. I mean, you didn't even reach the 236 on price fib, but that is not correct. Okay, remember this. You didn't even reach the 0.236 on price fib. However, when we look at market cap, you can see you actually, from your market cap high in cycle 1 to your bear market low, you did a 1.618 retrace, okay? So this was a bullish coin. This is what I mean by you can't fib price, because price was just watered down. So price, when you have this many unlocks, this big of an increase in your circulating supply, price is not linear, so fibs don't work here. You have to throw a fib on your market cap in order to find targets, and that is what we're going to do. So let's go and look at that. Again, you did a 1.618 retrace in the last cycle. From current cycle high to current bear market low this cycle, these are your fib levels, guys. Now, of course, this could change a little if you go a little bit lower, but as of now, these are your fib levels. So what you would do is take your market cap fib and divide by your circulating supply. For example, your 0.5 fib is coming in at 1.56 billion, so you would take 1.56 divided by 50 billion coins, okay? And that would give you your price, right? And I've done all that for you, so let's go back over to the price chart. And here are your levels for your market cap retraces. These are good targets, guys. You need to know these. I don't care where you think price is going. You might think price is going to $100. I don't care. Be aware of these levels just in case you get an underperformance. You might want to think about looking at some rejections there to get out of the market, because that can happen. Don't think it can't, guys, okay? Don't think it can't. Not to mention, if you're a trader, these are oftentimes good levels to sell and then reaccumulate for more coins to ride back up for higher prices. So be aware of these levels. These are your retrace levels. However, let's get to the good stuff here. My price prediction for Jasmy in the next cycle is, boom, 9 cents. I think you do, let's go back to market cap. I think you do a $4.5 billion level. That is a 1.618 retrace, guys. That is bullish. That is what you did last time. You actually did a 1.618. Now you have you're setting higher highs and higher lows. If you should come take out this low, which I don't think you will, but if you should, you will then have flipped market structure bearish, and at that point I think you would just do a retrace, because then you would be setting lower highs and lower lows, right? But as of now, you still have a higher high, higher low structure on market cap and on price. Okay, you haven't even taken it out on price, which again, we don't concern ourselves with price at this point because it's not linear due to token unlocks. So I think you do a 1.618 retrace. I think you come in at 9 cents, but be prepared for one of these lesser levels just in case. And from current bear market low to that 9 cents, that is actually about a 2,000% gain. So pretty dang good, guys. But let me show you one thing that kind of worries me, okay? And this could be nothing, but when I throw, let me turn this off. When I throw this chart, weekly charts, side by side with ICP, not sure if you guys have looked at this or not, but it looks awfully familiar, guys. Awfully familiar. Just this crazy. ICP had a scammy release. Sam Bankman-Fried release, SBF released way up here. His buddies immediately sold off. But look how similar it looks. You had to release, sell off, pop. You had to release, sell off, pop. Big crash down, rally up, peter on down, rally up, peter on down, and then up and down, right? I mean, it looks almost exact. The only difference is ICP has taken out this previous bear market low, whereas Jasmy has not. So I'm not saying it's exactly the same, but it looks very similar. This means this is a more bullish coin, though, okay, guys? So, here you're setting higher highs, higher lows, so you can expect lower highs, lower lows, so you can expect something like that on ICP, whereas Jasmy still has the bullish structure right now. So just be aware. This looks strangely similar, okay? Strangely similar, however, not exact. Just something you want to keep in the back of your mind that it didn't lead to good things for ICP. But here we go, 9 cent Jasmy. That is my prediction. Let me know in the comments down below. I'll see you guys next time.